what works for a CFO's DNA and what doesn't. Again, I'm generalizing because there could be CFOs who are more akin, who are bigger risk takers, and some on the other end of the spectrum. So again, one needs to see that, does one want to move to the next level? And I'm saying next level, but does one want to move outside only the role of a traditional role of a CFO? Or is one happy being that and being core to your cognizant of, we tend to stick to the areas that we are good at. So being risk averse, for example, or really being very, very sure until, so this leap of faith, often a leap of faith is required, for a ridiculous idea to go ahead. Now we as CFOs probably, would rather quit than saying yes or signing on the dotted line to a leap of faith. The numbers, not that they don't justify it, but we don't know. Everything is an unknown. Say a digital strategy that you're going down. Say you're using robotics. In insurance, for example, we have started using robotics. Huge cost outlay. Don't know whether it will take off, but I think we are the first mover and it could be a game changer. So those sorts of things which a CEO probably would, it would come more easily, and that might hold one back. And I found myself in that kind of a dilemma often when I transitioned from being a co-CFO to a board member. And one has to, I think, consciously say that I will keep my hat aside and play the role of a board member, and that does not only mean I will bring a finance perspective to it. In my role or in anyone's role as a board member, one would have to bring perspective on whatever is being discussed, and even things that are not being discussed, if one is aware of it or come to light. So it is transitioning out of one's mental makeup into things that are requisite of that role. That again does not mean, because the board will see at the end of it that, will look at the CFO to say, after all the discussions are over, that, so and so, I assume you've looked at the cost benefit or you are comfortable with the numbers. So there's no getting away from it. That homework anyway could be done before the agenda item is put up. And that's probably an efficient way of saying, yes, by and large, I'm comfortable with the assumptions or comfortable with the forecast, and whatever break even is put down, whatever it might be. So you get that out of the way, which is your core competency. It does not have to be, one does not have to be a naysayer necessarily if you think that, whatever is put up has merit. So I think to summarize, it can be done if one wants to transition to that role. There has to be a conscious focus on what that role demands, and that role could also be, like I gave an example of a COO role. I played a COO role in my organization along with the CFO role, and it was hugely enriching. And reason is, for the first time, I felt that I was learning the nuts and bolts of the organization, and I could empathize from a doer's point of view, as against just saying, none of this project didn't make sense, or, in an audit situation, why have you got 0.01% of whatever transactions you're processing wrong, or, whole number of things. So it really widened, and that's as an aside, I would encourage this kind of a lateral move or a move into a board role. So I think without compromising, and to summarize, without compromising on one's core ethics and things that are expected, since we continue to wear the hat of a CFO, I think one can take on the mantle of any other role within senior management in the board, depending on one's choice, as well as if one is given the opportunity.